Hi, Katie. Sorry about my messy house you see in the background. I have laundry everywhere, but all right. So this is what I'll be sending you. I'll kind of show you um, things where I fucked up and how to plant them, propagate them, all this stuff. I'll try to make it easy and quick and whatever. All right. I don't know how to turn it around, but I'll figure out 1 second. Okay, I'll start with the psychoactive ones first. This one, I wrote the names on the sides of them. It's kind of standard to do this for when people have like a specific hybrid that they make or whatever, just to kind of keep track, because it does kind of stay on it. I've kind of found it helpful. But when I cut them, I always mark them. So this is a cross between a T-bridge and a T-pock, basically a Bolivian torch and a San Pedro. I cut it a couple weeks ago when I told you I'd cut it. So they should be popping out roots anytime. I'll show you how to stick it in dirt next. This one is just a San Pedro. They call it a PC, which basically means it's not a hybrid of any type. It's just your standard type. They don't really know. They vary plant to plant based on the mescaline content, so it varies how much you have to actually make into a tea. I've used 1 foot, which is the standard for the other strains, and it worked. However, I'm told that it takes 3 feet. Worked for me for one, and that's the same type this is, so should be fine for you. This one I cut the same day as I cut this guy. He should be popping out roots anytime because it's been about 3-4 weeks. These little dots right here, I'm going to tell you about them now because you'll experience them. Right there where it's black, that is a humidity spot. These guys don't like humidity much, and I'll get to the next one in a minute and you'll see why. But if you water them and you don't let them completely dry out, they'll get these spots. They're harmless, but you don't want them because they do leave little scars. The black fades away. Let me see if I can, it'll look something like this little brown spot down here. Let me see if I can point to it. Right here with my thumb I'm pointing. It'll look something like that. So they do heal up. They don't stay black, but they are unattractive. So, and it's a sign that the plant is not happy. So I'll give you tips on that in a minute. This next one is jacked up because I tried to use tea tree oil, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, just as a preventative to keep away like fungus and pests with the smell, and I burnt it. So he's got some spots on him, and I am sorry about that. It's on one side, and that's what this is right here. And that's kind of the same color the black spots will heal to. See, he's got some black spots too. I also did not let him dry out completely before I cut him. So he's got black humidity spots, and those will be just on the tip. If you see, like on one side, I burnt him so bad with tea tree oil. He was too hot and I put it on him. He is about to shoot out roots. This is my favorite one. He is a Bolivian torch. He was my favorite plant. I just chopped him in half and sent half to you. He is about to shoot out roots. You'll see the little black spots like right here on the bottom. That's his burn spots. You could see him when I cut it. But he's about to shoot out roots. He's kind of cracking open, and then right here, you can see you'll be able to see it in person, but from the side maybe. You can see they're about to pop through the callus on the bottom. So stick him on dirt and he might even have roots by the time he arrives. This is, his alkaloid content is more like peyote. So if you make tea with him, he is going to be more like a peyote type trip. The alkaloids in the San Pedros and the Peruvian torches tend to be, it's the same, it's got mescaline, but there's other alkaloids in there that are not as, you still trip, and it's just as crazy as an experience, but it doesn't come on as harsh. And apparently some people have said that they don't get the stomach upset with it. I have not had that yet, but I have not drank Bolivian torch. So this right here is a Peruvian torch. He's a specific hybrid called Zevolos, and I wrote his name on the side. I cut off the tip and grafted it. So he is also cut off on the bottom. He does not look like he has any roots about to shoot out, but I give it a week or two and he should be, because they were cut at the same time. This guy's just eager to root, and he does, this Bolivian torch does make a lot of pups. This guy also pups out pretty quick because the base of him that I cut this off of produced a pup. It's just like popping out today. And I cut him about 3 weeks ago. So, and then the tip here, this is where you're most likely going to get a pup because I cut the tip. Typically, anytime you cut them, they're going to produce at least 1 or 2 pups from the top. And down here, because he's also cut on the bottom, once you stick him on dirt, you're likely to also get a basal pup, like a pup coming out from the bottom. So it'll just pop up from the dirt one day and you'll be like, holy hell. So those are those. This is, I actually have never looked up the alkaloid content to see if they are active, but it's just a mammillaria. It's a finger, a lady finger, they call it. It'll grow to get kind of tall, and then they make pups on the bottom. And I always pick off the pups and just leave 2 balls so it looks like a digging balls. So then this is, I don't really know the strain of it. I know it is a San Pedro. My friend gave it to me. He tried to graft on it and it failed, but it doesn't kill the plant. So he just, kept going and then handed it down to me when I started. It now has a pup on it too. So he's already fully rooted. Basically just plant him and within a week, wait a week and then water him, and then he should be good to go. Your pup will start taking off too. So he has a pup there, just kind of like what I was saying earlier. When you cut them, they produce a pup. So there's an example of that. This is a dragon fruit cactus. He's also fully rooted. So again, just stick him in the dirt. These are a lot easier to take care of than a typical cactus. They do have thorns. A lot of people don't know that. He has longer thorns than some of the other types because I'm pretty sure he's going to produce red fruit. They typically have longer thorns. And he also has a pup coming off of the tip of him. Don't really know why, but I'm not going to complain. So you'll have like this guy, which can also, this will be your main plant. And then he'll produce offsets, and then they can just they'll go really tall. You'll need to build a trellis if you want to make them for fruit. You can also graft on them. This is an Opuntia. I'll give you the names of everything written down so you have it, and I'll write it on everything. This is Opuntia Amethyst Wave is the strain of it. It turns like a purplish color. I'm not sure if you'll see it in my janky house lights. To make me use LED lights in this new fancy ceiling fan I got. But they have like a purple tint to them along the tips, especially when they're out in the sun and stuff. I don't love Opuntias. I do have several just because I have to have everything. I have to have every strain, I guess, in my head. I don't know. Because, I'm going to warn you, they have thorns, but that's not the bad part. Those things are nothing. Compared to these little glaucoids right here, these little fuckers, they have tiny, tiny, tiny little spurs that you don't feel for like 5 minutes, and then you got them all stuck in your shirt, and then you'd be sticking your arm in it all day. They're a bitch, so just be careful, use gloves. This guy is pretty kind of awesome. He is, I looked up the chemical content on him, and he does produce mescaline as well as DMT. So you just basically got to extract it, and he's fully rooted. Just stick him in the ground, but they're really pretty. You can't see it here, damn it. But they're really, really red and very beautiful. I kind of harvested them myself off the top of a mountain in Colorado. So they are used to full sun, and it was bright as fuck up there in full sun. So you can just throw him outside already. Some of these other guys, I'll write it down for you. You don't, well, maybe most of them are kind of used to full sun. Ignore that. All of mine are used to full sun. These are dogtail cactus. You can put them in a pot, and they'll like kind of trellis down like a hanging pot, like a hanging type of vine type thing. And they are related to the dragon fruits. They kind of look similar, but they'll start producing offsets like right up around here. Oh, here's one. So they'll produce offsets, and then once they fall out, you just stick them on the ground, and those will root. And before you know it, you have a big bucket of trailing cactus, and they do flower. Pretty much everything that I show you are going to flower. This is a string of dolphins for you to get started. Just basically either stick them in dirt and wait for them to root like a typical succulent, or you can just put it in water, wait for it to root, plant it like a succulent. I'm going to send you a lipstick Huernia. It's the lipstick cactus. They produce these really crazy looking flowers that are like a lipstick. They're really weird looking. And then I have an American agave, the century plant that I'll send you. Oh, and then I do have this guy. He's also active. He's a Trichechii. They kind of are slow growing, but they are kind of pretty and very high mescaline content. So everybody needs one of those for their collections. And I think I think that's everything. So I will write everything down for you and get it off in the mail. And I hope you're doing well. Have a good day. Okay, that was not it. Sorry. So I also am sending this. It's another mammillaria in the same family as this guy, the ladyfinger. So if you really want to get brave and adventurous, when they flower, you can collect the pollen and cross them and make your own hybrids and such. This is it's a Thimbocactus gracilis. It's a variety of a Thimbocactus that grows long and tall, and then they also produce little offsets. very similar to the dogtail cactus right here on the sides. So if you knock them off or you want to pull them off, just stick them in the ground, kind of like I did these guys over here. Stick them in the dirt and they'll root and they'll start making some of their own. And they'll just kind of grow and grow and grow like crazy and keep producing more. And before you know, you'll have a giant tray full. They also flower these pretty white yellow flowers. For this lipstick Huernia, he is rooted. So he's got some little roots there on the tip and then also here. So to plant him, you're just gonna stick him pretty much just on the dirt like this and just kind of push him down a little bit, tuck him in like that, and he'll do the rest. That's all you really have to do. He'll kind of settle himself in, just pack the dirt over his roots and get him covered and he should be good. Okay, sorry, Katie, I forgot to show you how to plant these fuckers. So you'll have it like this when it gets there. I think that's just perlite. Yeah, that's just perlite, that's not roots. But you'll just basically, you'll have your soil and perlite mixture. You'll just sit it in there like that and boom, that's it. It'll start rooting. If you want, like every week or so, you can pick it up and check, but it's best just to let them kind of just sit there. And if you don't move them, supposedly they'll root faster. So if you want to check, you can also just give it a little nudge. And if it doesn't really want to give, then that means it's rooted. But basically just sit it like that and it'll be fine. If you want to watch around the bottom edges for any type of darkening in color or mushiness, that's a sign that it's rotting. You can call me and I'll tell you what to do, but basically you just go above the rotting spot and cut it off and recallus it and start again.